The home run derby went down on Monday night, as we talked about. Cal Raleigh, who right now has 38 home runs at the deadline, he won. No surprise there. I think the first catcher to ever win the competition. And then last night was the home run derby. Oh, sorry, the All-Star game. And I never asked you. I thought it was fun, but Clayton Kershaw was mic'd up when he was on the mound. He
Yeah.
got the special, what do they even call it, like the Rob Manfred selection. I mean, he was the one that picked him, but it was kind of like the way that I described it was like Dwayne Wade and Dirk Nowitzki going to the All-Star game a few years ago when they were going to retire. I don't think Clayton Kershaw's officially announced that he's retiring, but it's kind of seeming that way, but nothing official. Everyone keeps saying like this might be his last All-Star game ever. But he was mic'd up. That was fun. What do you think about him getting selected along with Jacob? I'm not going to know who this guy is. Jacob Mizorowski. He only has like 5 starts and plays for the Milwaukee Brewers, but he got selected as well as a fill-in.
I wish I could tell you I had a strong opinion on that where I'd be pissed because he only made 5 starts, but the dude threw 103, and I'm not sitting there wishing that it was going to be someone else on that mound. You know, I'm like, that's cool. Like, all right, sweet. Like, I'm not really some all-star gatekeeper who thinks that only certain pitchers should be allowed in just because they have the statistics. If Jason Mizorowski's voted in the Miz, then do it. Like, I'm all for
the Miz.
That's another good one. I'm all for growing the game with this younger generation of players. Because with guys like Kershaw, I think John Smoltz made an interesting point. In 3 years' time, you know, you're moving on to this next generation of pitchers. And I think you got guys like Paul Skeens, but other than that, you don't really have like a lot of the Justin Verlanders, Max Scherzers, Clayton Kershaws, who you feel like are going to be around forever performing at a high level. Like, you could tell with those guys back in the mid 2000s. I think Kershaw was the latest to get in when he was drafted in 2008. But you don't have a lot of that right now in terms of pitching. And pitching seems to be the dominant thing in baseball, like getting strikeouts and all that sort of stuff. So I'm all for growing whatever facet of the game they need to. And if that means bringing Mizorowski into the All-Star game, fine. At least he's getting talked about. And at least the All-Star game is getting talked about. This is the only thing that Major League Baseball has going for it right now. This is the only thing that could put it in a conversation that's actually a talking point in the national media. So again, I'm all for it, even if it gets a little bit of publicity for Major League Baseball. I think it's smart even to put them in. They probably knew they'd get that kind of pushback.
Yeah, I mean, they have to go outside the box, and we'll get to a lot of things that were unconventional for the All-Star game. But yeah, for everything that went down yesterday, I thought it was a big success. I thought that the Hank Aaron tribute was awesome. The players being mic'd up, Brent Rooker, who was Jake Wilson with the A's doing an interview with his dad during one of the innings, and then the swing off. And, initially when the game was tied, I was thinking, oh no, are we going to have a 2002 situation where that game in Milwaukee ended in a tie because both managers didn't want to use their bullpens up? These guys had to play a game in 3 days on that Friday. Like, there's no reason to keep going. When I was a kid, I liked the whole this one counts where the American League, if they won like 7 in a row, whatever ridiculous streak it was.
11 of the last 12.
11 of the last 12. Where if you won the All-Star game, then you got home field advantage during the World Series. And now I would not be in favor of that because then that's ridiculous. It's all about the regular season, and that shouldn't be dictated in an exhibition game. But when you have extras, I think it's unique to have a swing and shindig, baby, a swing off, something unique that's going to end the game because you don't want to see this game go any longer. Like, I thought it was fun last night. I'll be honest, too. I wasn't intently watching. I had it on the background. And when the game was tied up, I was like, all right, this is going to be interesting. And then I guess there was a mix-up. The PA announcer told the people of Atlanta that the game was going to end in a tie after the 9th inning, or the 10th inning. And everybody in the crowd booed. And then Joe Davis was like, that's not true. No. We're going to have a swing off. And initially I was like, what the hell is that? It's basically a home run derby. And I know not a lot of people, it could be a mixed reaction. The people that I saw on Twitter that hated this were Bonte and Guru. Guru had a very serious video that he posted last night. Did you see it?
Oh, I did.
Yes, where he dropped 2 F-bombs, being like, "This is not the fucking home run derby I grew up with, man." And Bonte felt the same way, and I'm like, guys, like, it's the All-Star game, not home run derby. It's the All-Star game. Like, you want these guys to keep playing and playing all night? That's ridiculous. And I know that it's a fun exhibition. It's probably next to the NHL All-Star game. It's the probably most authentic sport that replicates what it is in the regular season. Like the Pro Bowl's unwatchable, the NBA All-Star Game's unwatchable, in my opinion. This was fun. This was different. And it went quick. And yeah, you had, Kyle Schwarber hitting 3 bombs right away when he was at bat to win the series, or not win the series, win the game and get him MVP. So I had no issue with it. I thought it was fun. And do I want a regular season game or a postseason game to end that way? Fuck no. But for an exhibition game, yeah, there's no harm, no foul in that.
Yeah, the Ballers do it. The Oakland Ballers do that.
Yeah, they do.
It's a great success. But it's been there since 2021. They just haven't used it. I think you need to look like, I'm not going to respond to I'm not going to respond to Bonte and Guru because they don't have a chance to retort. I did think it was a little ridiculous, but again, like they're not here, so I'm not going to go commenting on whatever their takes were. I like how Bonte used the word disgusted. I was disgusted by that home run derby.
Sorry. I love Bonte. I love Bonte.
Dude, go look at Scotty Scheffler and what he said about his sport. Just sometimes ask yourself, what's the point of being disgusted by that? It's an exhibition, dude. It's fine.
Exactly.
But I think you need to look no further than the players' reactions because the players seem to love it. And I'm talking about both teams. You had each team outside of the dugout, like 3 swings, the pretty high stakes for all things considered. I have a feeling because a big talking point was how players left to go back on the team plane and then head to their respective city to get ready for the second half of the season. That happens a lot with all-stars. But according to Dave Roberts, he apparently didn't even tell the dugout. He had a predetermined lineup for it. He had already selected one, but he literally told his dugout at the end, by the way, guys, we're doing a home run derby to close this thing out. It's not going to extra innings. So he had made a predetermined list, but didn't even tell the team until the very end. Didn't come to think of it. Like Kyle Shanahan and overtime stuff. Didn't come to think of having to tell his team not because he forgot the rules or whatever, but just because he didn't feel like it was a pertinent information. I'm sure if Shohei or Aaron Judge had heard that there was going to be a home run derby at the end, then maybe they would have stuck around. I thought it was a fantastic way to close it out. I really did. Like, I don't know why anyone could be mad at that,
Exactly. Like, there's a lot of baseball purists. They're going to be like, that's not the traditional way to end a baseball game. And I'm like, it's not a traditional baseball game. It's an exhibition. Who cares? Now, would it have been more interesting if Shohei Ohtani or Aaron Judge were involved? Yes. It's also way more interesting if you have the best, the best players involved in the slam dunk competition or the best three-point shooters every year involved in the three-point contest. But I'm realistic in that some players are just not going to agree to do that. You didn't have Aaron Judge and Shohei Ohtani in the home run derby to begin with. I did think it was funny that Jeff Passan made that a critique right off the bat when they went to the extra innings in that swing-off portion of the game. And then Brett Rooker tweets at him being like, am I not good enough for you, Passan, huh? And then Passan jokingly responds back being like, he called him a loser. But in a joking, way. I guess you can't really pick up on sarcasm on Twitter. But, people should know by now Jeff Passan likes to fuck around. And he had to explain himself at the same time.